The muscle that causes men the most concern would have to be the chest, specifically the upper and the lower chest. And after coaching thousands of men worldwide and walking the gym floor as a face-to-face personal trainer for over 5 years, I've quickly discovered that men don't really know what to do to help grow their lower chest outside of benching more, chest pressing more, and doing more push-ups. So grab a protein shake or grab a beer, grab whatever beverage you want. Take a seat because I'm going to educate you on how to grow your lower chest. The chest is broken up into 3 divisions: the clavicular pecs, or the upper chest, the sternal pecs, or the mid chest, the costal pecs, or the lower chest. And within these 3 divisions, we have a myriad of exercises that we can do to help grow these certain divisions of the chest. But in this video, I'm going to outline you 4 exercises to help grow your lower chest. The chest can move in 2 ways. It can fly and it can also press. And out of these 4 exercises, I'm going to give you a combination of both. First of all, we're going to start with the costal chest fly. When we're setting up the costal chest fly, we want to make sure the cables are right at the top, because the goal of this exercise is to line up the cables and our arms with the structure of the muscle. And the way that the costal pec is attached to the body is along this angle. So we're going to imitate that angle with the movement. So we're at the top, we bring the weights down, and then we're here. Our starting position can be here. So see how my arms are in line with the cable. I'm going to fly back, come in, and keep in line. So when I finish, my hands don't need to touch, but when I finish, the cables are in line with my arms, and I want to maintain that line. When you're doing a fly, the general rule is you want a soft bend in your arm. You don't want to be completely locked out, and you also don't want to be too bent because that's going to use too much bicep. And then when you get here, this is not your chest. Your chest is bringing your elbows together, and that's going to recruit more fibers. Soft bend in the elbows is what you want. With that soft bend in mind, I actually straighten my arms at the top of the rep to squeeze my chest. Controlling the weight down and then exploding up. With your feet, you don't want them to be beside each other. You want to take a staggered stance. That's going to give you more stability, and when you're more stable, you're going to be stronger. You may be thinking in your head, doesn't matter if I stagger my right foot forward or my left foot forward. No, it doesn't, because your lower body isn't taking any load. It's just stabilizing yourself. But if it feels better, like it does for me, I like to swap every set, just to make sure I'm doing both sides. The biggest thing that I'm actually thinking about when I'm doing this exercise is keeping my arms in line with the line of the cable, because that's what helps use the costal pec. This is the difference between the incline chest fly and the standard chest fly. It's the angle that you're doing the fly on. So really focus on maintaining that line of force with the cable. The second exercise to help grow your lower chest is similar, but instead of a fly, it's going to be a press. And this is the costal chest press. Once again, you're setting the cables up at the top and you are pressing in that same angle that we were creating before. So I'm going to bring the cables down to my level. I'm going to stagger my stance so I'm more stable. And then I'm going to come into this position. So this feels like I'm doing a dumbbell chest press if I was lying on my back with the dumbbells by my side. And now from here, I'm going to keep my arms and the cables in line with the costal pec. Coming back, opening up that chest, getting a big stretch, and then punching through. I'm not touching my hands together. I'm just punching through and tensing my chest at the bottom. Bringing my elbows back, forearms in line with the cable, and pressing. Another thing you have to think of when you're doing this exercise is maintaining the same angle of torso while you're doing this press. Controlling the eccentric and then exploding on the concentric. As you get stronger and lift more weight, you might have to lean forward to compensate for the weight that you're lifting. It doesn't mean that your form is bad, you just have to counteract the weight or else you're going to fall back. I filmed the set lifting more weight, so I had to lean forward just so you could see what it actually looks like. And the biggest difference you have to do is actually press more towards the floor or more towards your feet, because as you lean forward, you're creating more of an angle, and that means you need to press lower. If you were to press at the same angle, it's going to lose the kind of costal pec effect and be more mid-chest. The third exercise to help grow your chest is the chest dip. This is a variation of a tricep dip, but instead of being completely upright like you would in a tricep dip, I'm going to get you to lean forward. That's going to help you tap into using the costal pec. One thing that I was thinking while I was doing this was actually putting my nose to the tricep bar. If you look really close, you can see that my nose is touching the tricep dip bar, and that helped me lean forward to access that lower chest and really differentiate between doing a normal tricep dip and a chest dip. The last exercise that I'm going to show you is the decline dumbbell chest press with a neutral grip. If you're like me and you don't have access to a decline bench, then what you can do is put a weight plate underneath the front, and that's going to create a slight decline where you can access the lower chest with your dumbbell chest presses. I rolled the 25 kg plate and put it underneath the front of the bench to create the biggest decline that I could, because it's the biggest plate that I have in the gym. And then the technique for the decline dumbbell chest press is exactly the same as a standard dumbbell chest press. The only difference is the angle of the bench. I like to set up a tripod with my feet. As you can see, I'm driving my toes into the ground, and my heels are also driving to the ground, but they stay up, and my butt is clenched. I'm squeezing the glutes so that I have like a super strong tripod. So even though this is an upper body exercise, I like to look at it as a full body exercise because my lower body is engaged. With the dumbbells, I'm pressing up and in. It's not just up. So as I said earlier in the video, the chest works with fly motions and also pressing motions. So if you can press up and in, it's kind of like the best of both worlds for the press, as opposed to just pushing up. And also, I like to go full range of motion, so the dumbbells at the bottom of the rep are touching my chest and shoulder. The reason that you didn't see any dumbbell chest fly work today was because I tend to have a bias towards cable chest flies. And the reason is, when you're doing dumbbell chest flies and you're at the top of the rep and you're coming down, it gets harder and harder and harder until you get to the bottom where it's the hardest. And then as you come back up, it begins to get easier and easier and easier until you get towards the top. However, when you're using a cable machine and you're doing a chest fly, it's hard constantly throughout the rep. At the top it's hard, all the way to the bottom it's hard, and then all the way back to the top, it's hard. And I believe you're getting more work per rep with the cables as opposed to using the dumbbells. That doesn't mean that the exercise is rubbish and that you shouldn't do it, but if you do have access to cables, I would recommend trying that instead. The dumbbell chest fly also has a similar resistance profile to the dumbbell chest press and the barbell bench press and the chest dips. They're all hardest at the bottom. So that's another reason why I like to bias towards the cables for fly work, because there's constant tension throughout and it's different to the other exercises that you're doing on chest day, where most of them are hardest at the bottom of the rep. If you want to transform your body and change your life with me as your online personal trainer, then you can go to teambrockashby.com, or you can hit the link in the description, which is going to take you to my plans page, which has all my programs that can help you transform your body. If you do like educational videos like this, then I know you'll like this video as well, which is 4 types of lateral raises that you probably haven't heard before to help grow wider shoulders. Check it out.